Friends, I've broken out a blast from the past. This is my old WP-50 Les Paul, one of what they call the lawsuit Les Paul back in the day, because it was very closely made like one. It's been kind of beat up. This was one of my go-to guitars back in the day. There's even been a knob torn off of it back here. It happened in a weird little incident when I was playing live one night. The reason I have it is a person on one of the Facebook groups I'm a member of, Everything Guitar. If you've not gone there and joined it, you ought to. It's pretty cool. Wanted to know about the JOYO American Sound pedal that I bought. I demoed this when the AC tone the other day, which I really love with a Telecaster. I bought this other one. I have lots of other Fender emulation. I've got Fender amps all around me here. But I wanted to try this. Everybody gave it really high marks, and some of the people that saw the AC tone video said, you got to try the American. You got to do one on the American. I said, I already got it, and I've just not explored it as well as the other one. And so I got this guitar out just because it manages gain really well. And this person on Everything Guitar had asked, would this pedal work for metal? So I'm going to do some distorted sounds first. Usually I do clean sounds and then we move forward. But I'm going to show you how it dirties up. Now, my answer to your question is, well, it sounds like a Fender amp. If you want to play metal, I would imagine you'd be going for like the California sound, like a Mesa Boogie, or the Marshall sound, which dirties up a little bit more. The high gain is more that crunchy kind of metally type sound. You may consider this more bluesy sound, and to me it's got a lot of gain. I think more than what you get with a typical Fender amp. So this is the sound of this Les Paul with nothing on it except for some Hall of Fame reverb. So this is before the amp is added. Let me turn the American on here. I don't have it set up for high gain yet. More of a classic rock sound right now. Great crunchy sound though. That's exactly what I would want out of a Fender amp. So let's take it up. Let's take the drive up. And you get to a point where it gets a little noisy, just like it would if you're playing a real amp. The thing I like about it is it's good gain. It's the kind of gain where you don't lose your strings. You still hear every individual string. It doesn't get all muddy on it. It's a nice gain. Let me get the neck pickup for a second. Very nice. So let me take it on up. I'll go up to the very top here. I'll take the level back a little. Now you'll hear a little bit of noise. You can knock this out with a noise gate, though, a silencer or something. That's what I've got, but I'm not using it tonight. I want you to hear how it really sounds. Folks, that's more gain than you get with a Fender amp typically. So, to me, that seems like crazy gain. Let me show you what else you got. You got this voice here in the middle. I'm going to crank the gain back just a little bit. And it really is almost like a second gain stage. More of that scooped kind of sound. Now, if you crank that up, both stages of gain, you get some kind of crazy sounds. work for metal. Pretty wicked sounds. And you can take a drive if you want to get really crazy with it. Now that's noisy. Wanted to give you that to show you about the sustain on it. Now that's noisy. It actually almost resolves into a feedback, even though I don't have a speaker here to feedback. I'm going directly into a Zoom L12 mixer. So, and the other thing you might think about, let's crank these things back so we're not quite so insane anymore. Let me go back up. You might think about giving it just a moderate amount of drive. So we might go just a little bit of drive, not too much. And then hit it with an overdrive or distortion. Now I have here a $25 Behringer. The one I've got is called the OD300. And I've got it set to distortion right now. I'm going to turn it on. Now that's quieter, and I'm hitting the already distorted sound with a pretty saturated sound. And so you might think, well, is the OD300 making that sound really cool? I don't even need the American. Listen how sorry it sounds without the American. Let me turn it here. Here we are, but with the American on. Here's how it sounds without it. Back with the American. That is a huge sound. So how might it sound with just a typical tube screamer? Again, I have a $25 Behringer. This one's called a TO800. I'm going to hit that. Here it is without that. This gives it that top end and a little more crunch. Of course, I don't even have to drive really up on that. I can crank the drive a little bit more on the tube screamer. I got this kind of thing. Let's go to the neck for a second. hopefully I've answered that question for the person that asked about the high gain sounds. I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to go back to what I think it really does good, which does sound like a Fender amp. So I'm going to crank the drive back a little, put that voice about middle, level up a little. I mean, that's pretty classic rock sound right there. Bluesy. I'm gonna crank it up just a little bit more here. Let's bring the drive down and the level up. See here how it cleans. Let me turn my volume knob down just a little bit. Sounds like a Fender amp with a Les Paul, doesn't it? That one with a little bit of a tube screamer. Sweet tones. Let's take it. I'll take the drive all the way down and take the level up. And we got really good clean sound. Sound without it. We turn it off again like this. And again, I'll go ahead and hit the drive again with the mid scooped a little bit this time, because that might be more like what the people are expecting. Hit the overdrive again. Too much drive, too much drive. So that amp really does, the little 4 pedal really does affect the tone monster way. I totally dig it. The American is a lot of the people's favorites, they tell me, that have reviewed the pedal, or that actually own the pedal. So my little review is, yeah, there's a lot for me to discover in this pedal. A lot of monster tone, my friends, a lot of monstrous tone. Peace to all who watch. Subscribe to the channel if you like.